So guys, welcome to the introductory video for the theory lesson, the module 1 and 2. When you come into the shop, I'm going to get you guys to go down to the beach, set up the whole kite, run up the lines and do everything. So please pay attention because there's a lot of information that you need to take note of. And the nice thing here is that you guys will be able to go back, and if you miss stuff, you'll be able to go and check it out. First thing you're going to do, guys, we're about to flap our kite on the beach. Have a look what's down on the beach in front of you. Because I've seen guys throw their kites out, there's sticks and there's all stuff on the beach. It can cut your kite. So look around you. Where we are here, it's perfect. We've got a nice clear area. So we unzip the bag. We're going to grab the kite and we're going to flap the kite out. So we're going to grab it by the leading edge and flap it downwind. So the wind's at my back. You're going to flick it down over there and lay it down. So what we've got here is an inflate and a deflate. This is your weakest point. It's the biggest point in your kite. So what you need to make sure is that you get your hand behind this and you use the valve and you push the valve all the way in. So it goes in like that. Don't ever have it, and I've seen a lot of guys, they have it sticking out like that. Because the Velcro now goes over it, but if you crash your kite, that can release, and eventually the air starts coming out of that. So when you do this, it pushes all the way in. That's very important, guys. And then the Velcro goes over it nice and tight, and it doesn't insert like a lilo. What you then got is you got a leash, little holder. This is your hook from your pump, and it hooks into it. Be aware, some of the models actually have this other valve over here, which if you're pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping, just check that valve has been closed, because sometimes it hasn't. So what we've got is, this is your leading edge. This is what we're inflating through the inflation, but it's got little pipes that run into your struts. Underneath this, which I'll show you now, you've got these little clamps. That's the same as like they have in a drip, which can close and open, close, push together, open, opens up. But they're hidden under the neoprene like that. Make sure that those get closed, but I'll go through that with you now. So what we do is you connected the kite, the pump leash to the kite. You're then going to insert the nozzle into the valve, into the inflate valve, and now we're going to pump our kite. You don't need to put sand on your kite, guys. A lot of guys put sand all over the kite. It's a waste of time. All you're going to do, as long as your leash is pumped, is insert it. We pump. It's a double action pump, so we're pumping up and down. And as you pump, everything else will inflate. Another thing to watch out for when you do it is that your kite doesn't roll over, because what can happen here, this side can actually roll into itself, preventing it from rolling out, which can cause you to burst a leading edge. Because inside your leading edge is like a latex tube, which can get punctured and it can also burst. So keep an eye on it when you're pumping. Now, it gets to a stage where it gets quite difficult to pump. On the valve, on the pump, you've got a little valve over here which you open up, which changes it from a 2 to 1 to a 1 to 1, from a 1 to 1 to a 2 to 1. So now it doesn't pump up, it just pumps down. So it makes it a lot easier to go. So what we've got a gauge over here on this pump over here. We generally pump it up just to the edge of the red, which is 10 psi. And if you have a look there, we're hitting 9, almost 10. And we'll do it to there. And all we're going to do is we're going to pull the valve out, and you're going to push the nozzle in, the valve in, and close it. What we then got is you've got the clamps. Now, again, take the kite leash off. It's very important that you clamp your struts. The reason being, if that valve bursts, this air over here is going to flow into your valve. So if you're out to sea and you crash your kite and that valve bursts open, all the air from your struts is eventually going to lead into your leading edge, and the entire kite is going to deflate. If your entire kite deflates, you're eventually going to be swimming with a wet sack, so it's going to be a weight in the water. It's very important that your kite stays afloat. So keeping your struts inflated will allow your kite to remain floating in the ocean. But on top of that, if you get a leak in a strut, it can be the reverse. So where all the air from your leading edge then runs into your strut and slowly leaks out. So rather clamp it off so it's easier to actually go. So you just go onto each one and clamp it and clamp it. If you have a look here, this one was clamped before, so you have a look. So either I've got a problem here, or this wasn't clamped. But then now it's clamped, which can affect your pressure. So maybe it's an idea to go back and pump it up some more. But again, clamp it off, and then it's done. When you're dealing with your kite, you always deal with it by the leading edge. So basically, you hold it like that. If the wind's light and you use your hand below it, don't drag your kite through the sand. That's how you get holes in it. That's how you get little nicks in your actual canopy, or you can get a little hole in your bladder. But your kite's rigid, guys. If you have a look at this, another way of being able to test it, if you haven't got a valve system, try and bend your kite over. You see, if it's kinking easy, it's quite hard to bend that over. That's where it should be. Because if you have it kinking easily, then it's too soft. Don't underinflate your kite, because if you underinflate your kite, that skeleton or the inflatable pit is what's giving you your rigidity in your kite. If ever you're flying and you see your kite start jellyfishing, so it starts wobbling in the wind, go to shore straight away and check your kite, because you may find you at a leak, and the last thing you're going to do is your whole kite collapses. The next thing you're in the sea and you're going to be swimming, and then you regret it. So now what we're going to do, with the wind behind us, we're going to be ready to run our line. So we're going to walk the kite over. Again, look where you're doing it. So we're going to take the kite, we're going to walk it over, and you're going to face the kite straight into the wind, so it's there. And guys, very important, put sand on your kite. And that's not enough, because that's just going to flap off. So you need to make sure that you get here and you to weight the side down, because the last thing you want to do is have your kite flying away onto the beach. So guys, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to run our lines. What I always do, I run my lines downwind. The reason being is that when I come to launch the kite, when I grab the bar straight down there, I'm in the best possible position. I'm going to slowly walk the kite around and bring it into the powers. So what we're going to do is we're going to run our lines out from it. What we've got over here is we have these little elasticated pieces. We're going to take the elasticated pieces off your bar. You're going to find the end of your bar, which is there. And we're going to run our lines. Start unraveling it. Okay, we get to the end. Some guys bury the lines over here. I generally don't. I'll just leave them and I'll just wrap. Very important is the way you wrap your lines up. You see, it's nice and neat. This will help you unravel your lines, because if it's untidy, it makes it more difficult to unravel. What you can also do here, if you want, grab the chicken loop, hold in your hand so it doesn't get tangled, and then you just jiggle it. So I'm just moving the bar from side to side, allowing the lines to flap off. Because the kite's upside down, you're going to put the bar upside down. So you're going to put the red onto the right hand side, you're going to drop the bar on the floor, and you're going to make sure that everything is set up from here behind. So we can stand into our lines with the two lines on either side of your leg and the center lines in the middle. And all we do now is we walk. One hand holds all four lines. The other hand creates an angle. Now, if you have a look, I'm separating three lines. The two center lines, if they're twisted, come back and do them as a separate exercise. Just keep your hands out, just separating the three lines initially. If you want to separate the two middle ones, do it as a separate one. But your one hand holds all four. Don't hold it like this, because straight away I'm getting tangled and it starts going. Get one hand out and there. And you can just obviously work your hand to the side. If it gets tangled on the other side, just change your hands over.